Hello, how are you
Hello.
doing?
Good, thanks.
Green looks stunning on you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, God, okay.
You're riding down the road.
Uh-huh.
Some jerk cuts you off.
Uh,
Instead of yelling out an obscenity,
Uh-huh.
you randomly yell out a Peanuts character's name. Who would it be and why?
Okay.
Of course, the lady has the right to refuse that.
um, Charlie Brown! Because it sounds like a curse if you say it, if you yell it.
Morena.
Yes.
Listen, I've put something I really wanted to ask you. Are there any deleted scenes from the first season that didn't make it that you can share with us?
I like that. Good question.
Well, first of all, there's a DVD coming out. Maybe it'll include some deleted scenes. A deleted scene. Well, you know, my stuff never gets cut. Yeah, right. I did do a scene with a V pilot in the episode where the guy crashes the V pilot in order to make it look like the fifth column destroyed a V pilot. I mean, a V shuttle. And there was a scene where I give him bliss right before he goes, and it was oddly sexual, intimate. I'm clothed, but you know, I have his head in my hands, and he's like this tall, and giving him bliss, and it looks like a very intimate moment with Anna, and like a very special thing. And that was a really cool scene that got cut. I think maybe because the episode was too long. I wonder if they'll include it in the DVD coming out later this year, but. That's the only one I can think of. And that particularly pissed me off, actually. And the reason being that I was commuting between LA and Vancouver for the second half of the first season. And I got cleared to leave, and I got on a plane to go to LA, and we hadn't gotten to that scene because the day ran long. And I swear to God, I landed in LA, and there was a message for me to turn around and get back on a plane because we're shooting that scene. And I died. I just was so tired. So I went back into the airport and bought a ticket to Vancouver and went in and shot the scene and got back on another plane and came home again. And then it wasn't in the show. I know, woe is me, right? But it was a very frustrating experience.
Do you feel that after you cut your hair short for the role, do you feel that like you were viewed differently on a day-to-day basis, and do you plan on keeping your hair short?
Yeah, it was a really different experience. I would like to grow my hair out just because I'm bored. You know, I like to reinvent myself and change all the time, thus the platinum hair. But yeah, people looked at me differently and related to me differently, and some people felt it was harsh and severe, and some people felt it was more soft and pretty and like fairy-like. It just depended on the person, and even till today, some people just don't like it, you know. And for me, it changed my personal style and how I dressed and jewelry that I wore and colors and styles. Like certain things looked way funkier and more hip than I wanted them to, you know, because of having this haircut and having it, if I wore it spiky, it's so different from when it's down. I mean, it's just really funny how you can change who you are with just a haircut.
Earlier you mentioned boyfriend, and then you said fiance, and I see a beautiful ring on your finger.
Yeah.
It's not too personal, and feel free to say now. Can you tell us, was there a nice story behind the proposal?
I'll just say it was on a hilltop in Barcelona.
Aww.
Yeah, it was very nice. And I hate the word fiance, which is why I don't use it all the time. I think it's a silly word, fiance.
Do you prefer this more laid-back kind of environment at DragonCon than where at Comic-Con it's like you have to talk about the show, you get 10 minutes of questions and...
Totally, this is so much nicer. I feel like I'm actually like, even though I can't see you all that well, I feel like I'm connecting and we're talking and it's more of a dialogue and you guys get to ask questions. And at Comic-Con it's so frustrating. I see a sea of people and I think I answered one question. You know, it's just like so hard. I mean, this for me, is the fun of a convention, is like doing this thing. Because I know when I watch TV shows and when I see things, I have questions, and I want to know how a certain thing was done, or I want to know how somebody felt about something, and you don't really get that chance that often. On that note, is there a burning question? Oh, look.
Related to your the question about your hair, since you can change your hair when you're not on set, is it a practice by the producers to have an actress change their hair so they can control exactly what that hair color is going to be?
Yeah, I don't think that's done so often. That was my rebellious stage this summer. I think, yeah, I mean, you have to okay everything with them. And I knew that I had time off. I had a couple of months, and I knew that it's way easy to go back to black from being blonde, so it wasn't a big deal. And that was my plan. So I was more teasing them than anything else. And I wouldn't dream of doing that in the middle of a production schedule. I think I would get fired. They owned me.
Hi.
Hi.
So what are some of your favorite shows that you watch? What are some of the things you don't miss, or movies or whatever?
I love Modern Family. I think it's the funniest show on television. Nurse Jackie, really love. So glad E.D. Falco just won the Emmy. What else do I love? Dexter, although, thank you, all right. I loved the first 2 seasons, and then it got a little weird for me. I'm hoping I'll still like this season. But it was a wonderful finale last year, actually. And the guy who directed that episode, who just won an Emmy for it, just directed our 2nd episode, so that was cool. Shout out to him. And he also directed Rome, which is a show I loved, that went off the air. What else do I watch? I like White Collar, because my friend Matt's in it. Yeah. And Castle, of course. Nathan. I know, right? Exactly. I like that. Nice.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
In season 2,
Mm-hmm.
who should Erica get with? A. Hobbs, B. Father Jack, or C. You?
Ooh. Nice. I'm going to say Father Jack and me season 3.
Hi there, how you doing?
Hi, good.
Awesome. Hey, I am a huge fan of Firefly, and obviously Anara in that show had a lot of Eastern influences.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if any of those spilled over into your IRL in real life, like yoga, meditation, anything like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I do take a little bit of every character with me, although I don't know what's going to be for Anna. You know, maybe some good old rodent eating. Yeah, I guess I probably took, I drink tea a lot more, and we did a lot of tea ceremonies. So maybe that, and I did actually take home with me the tea sets that I used on the show when the show was over, and this big bowl that we used in the episode where, you know, that whore was giving birth. What's that episode called? Part of Gold, thank you. Yeah, there was this big, beautiful, you know, that whore. As opposed to this whore. I didn't say that. Anyway, yeah, so I took some stuff home, and I think that character is definitely a big part of me.